giants, as depicted in fairy tales and folklore, actually existed? But what if I told you the Bible itself mentions giants? Yes, you heard it right. The Bible, in several places, talks about beings of enormous stature, the most prominent account being in the book of Genesis, right before the narrative of Noah's Ark. Let's take a brief look at these biblical giants. Primarily, the Bible presents two interpretations of these towering figures. First, we have the Nephilim, an intriguing group whose existence is noted as being in those days and also afterward. The origins of the Nephilim are somewhat cryptic. Some translations suggest that they were the offspring of the sons of God who married the daughters of men. Now, who these sons of God were is a matter of debate, with some suggesting they could be fallen angels. The Nephilim are portrayed as mighty men who were of old, men of renown, suggesting they were powerful, possibly even violent. Next, we have other groups of giants that the Bible mentions intermittently. As the Israelites journeyed to the Promised Land, they encountered these colossal beings. These groups include the Anakim, the Rephaim, and the Emim. These giants were said to inhabit specific regions and were formidable opponents due to their size and strength. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The Hebrew term for Nephilim can be translated as either giants or fallen ones. This ambiguity forms a significant part of the enigma surrounding these biblical giants. Additionally, the Nephilim are mentioned in Genesis 6:4, with a passage describing them as being on earth both before and after the sons of God took human wives and had children. So were these Nephilim the offspring of these divine beings and human women, resulting in mighty warriors? Or were they pre-existing giants, symbolic of a time of wickedness on earth? The interpretations differ. Intriguing, isn't it? Let's delve deeper into these two interpretations. Genesis 6:4 introduces us to the Nephilim, a term with an ambiguous meaning. This passage describes the Nephilim existing in those days and also afterward, a phrase that shrouds their existence in mystery. Let's delve into the possible origins of the Nephilim. The text refers to the sons of God taking wives from the daughters of men, with their offspring being identified as the Nephilim. The phrase sons of God is a subject of debate among scholars and theologians. Some suggest they were fallen angels, divine beings who rebelled against their heavenly abode. Others propose they were simply men of high social or religious standing. Regardless of their parentage, the Nephilim are described as mighty men who were of old or men of renown. This implies they were individuals of significant power and influence, possibly even violent in nature. It's interesting to note that the term Nephilim can be translated as giants or fallen ones, adding yet another layer of intrigue to their identity. But the mystery doesn't stop there. The Nephilim are said to have existed both before and after the sons of God took human wives. This could mean two things. One interpretation suggests the Nephilim were the offspring of these divine human unions, born as mighty men who were of old, men of renown. Another interpretation posits that the Nephilim were already present, and their mention in the text simply marks a time of great wickedness on earth. The Nephilim, mighty men of renown, powerful, possibly violent. Who were they really? The answer to that question isn't clear-cut. It's shrouded in the same mystery that surrounds the Nephilim themselves. Whether they were literal giants, fallen angels, or powerful human beings, the Nephilim remain one of the most fascinating enigmas of biblical lore. Besides the Nephilim, the Bible mentions other groups of giants. These include the Anakim, the Rephaim, and the Emim, each with their own intriguing narratives and unique characteristics. The Anakim, whose name translates to long-necked or tall, are described as a formidable race of giants who once dwelled in the southern part of Canaan. Joshua's spies compared them to the Nephilim, suggesting they were of significant height and stature. They were known to be strong, intimidating, and a formidable force to reckon with. Next, we have the Rephaim, a name which translates to healers or comforters. These giants are believed to have lived in the region of Bashan, east of the Jordan River. Often mentioned in conjunction with the Anakim, the Rephaim were also of great size and strength. Their king, Og, was renowned for his iron bedstead, an artifact of such dimensions that it suggested he was a giant among giants. Then there are the Emim, whose name intriguingly translates to the fearful ones. They were said to have been as tall as the Anakim and dwelled in the land of Moab. The Emim were renowned for their impressive height and were a constant source of fear for the people who encountered them. These giants, each with their distinctive traits, inhabited specific regions and were formidable opponents due to their size and strength. Their presence throughout the Old Testament provides us with a fascinating glimpse into a world where the ordinary and the extraordinary coexisted. It's worth noting that these accounts, like those of the Nephilim, are shrouded in mystery. They offer a tantalizing glimpse into a world beyond ordinary human experience, stirring our curiosity and fueling our imagination. Are these tales based on fact or fiction? Were these giants real beings or symbolic representations of powerful and formidable foes? Each of these groups of giants, with their own tales, add another layer to the mystery. Their stories, while intriguing, leave us with more questions than answers, making the enigma of the giants in the Bible all the more compelling. The term Nephilim itself is a conundrum, translating to giants or fallen ones. This ambiguity fuels the intrigue and mystery surrounding them. There are two major interpretations of these enigmatic beings that dominate scholarly discourse. Firstly, the Nephilim are seen as the offspring born from the union of the sons of God and human women. This interpretation stems from the Genesis account, where it is mentioned that the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. The children born from these unions were the Nephilim, described as mighty men who were of old men of renown. This suggests that they were giants or powerful warriors, known for their strength and might. The second interpretation posits that the Nephilim were pre-existing giants, already present during a period of moral decline on earth. In this viewpoint, the term Nephilim is seen independent of the union of the sons of God and human women. The sons of God marrying human women is perceived as a symbolic representation of the wickedness that had spread across the earth. The Nephilim, in this context, are seen as embodiments of this wickedness, their size and strength, a metaphor for the magnitude of the moral decay. These interpretations, while different, both underscore the Nephilim's association with a time of great wickedness on earth, whether as a result of divine human unions or as pre-existing entities. The Nephilim are consistently linked to a period of moral degradation and chaos. In both interpretations, the Nephilim are depicted as formidable, powerful beings, giants in stature or influence. Their presence marks a time of great upheaval and wickedness, a time that ultimately led to the cataclysmic event of the Great Flood, whether offspring of divine human union or pre-existing giants. The Nephilim remain enigmatic. Their story, shrouded in mystery and clouded by time, continues to captivate us, offering a glimpse into the profound and complex tapestry of biblical narrative. To add to the enigma, the non-canonical Jewish text, the Book of Enoch, offers a different perspective. The Book of Enoch, despite being non-canonical, has been a source of fascination for scholars and mystery seekers alike for its unique portrayal of these enigmatic beings, the Nephilim. This ancient text takes us on a deep dive into the origins and nature of the Nephilim, describing them as the offspring of fallen angels and human women. The Book of Enoch paints a vivid picture of these beings as monstrous giants who wreaked havoc on earth, spreading violence and corruption. Their presence was so disruptive, so destructive, that they threatened the very fabric of human society. In the Book of Enoch, the Nephilim are not just large in stature, but also in their influence and power. Their fathers, the fallen angels, taught them forbidden knowledge, including warfare, astrology, and sorcery, which they wielded to dominate and corrupt humanity. They were so powerful, so fearsome, that they were seen as a significant factor leading up to the great deluge, the flood. This version of the Nephilim contrasts starkly with the more ambiguous descriptions found in the canonical biblical texts. The Book of Enoch takes the mystery of the Nephilim and amplifies it, transforming these beings from mere giants or warriors into something far more terrifying and impactful. However, it's critical to remember that the Book of Enoch is non-canonical. Its narratives are not universally accepted and is not included in the standard Bible. Nevertheless, its depiction of the Nephilim has had a significant influence on how these beings are understood and interpreted in popular culture. Its narratives have fueled countless discussions, debates, and creative reinterpretations. In essence, the Book of Enoch adds another layer of mystery to the enigmatic Nephilim. It offers a glimpse into an alternate interpretation, one that paints these beings as monstrous, influential, and ultimately disastrous for humanity. The Book of Enoch, while non-canonical, adds another dimension to the mystery of the Nephilim. A question that often arises: were the giants in the Bible literal giants? This question takes us into the heart of one of the most fascinating debates surrounding biblical lore. The Hebrew word used for these giants, Nephilim, has been the source of much conjecture. It can be translated as giants, suggesting a literal interpretation, or as fallen ones, alluding to a more metaphorical understanding. The ambiguity of this term opens a Pandora's box of interpretations. Some scholars believe these giants were indeed colossal humans, towering above their contemporaries. They point to the numerous references to the size and strength of these beings as evidence. On the other hand, some argue that the term giant could be metaphorical, signifying the immense power, influence, or wickedness of these beings. In this viewpoint, the giants were not necessarily physically large, but were giant in terms of their impact or their deviation from moral norms. These contrasting interpretations have fueled an ongoing debate over the physicality of the giants in the Bible. Were they literal giants, or were they symbols of an era marked by wickedness and moral decline? The Bible doesn't explicitly resolve this conundrum. The giants are depicted as formidable, but whether this formidability is physical or symbolic remains open to interpretation. This ambiguity lends a layer of intrigue to the narrative. It invites us to delve deeper into the text, to ponder the nature of these enigmatic beings, and to grapple with the tantalizing mystery they represent. Whether you lean towards a literal interpretation, seeing the giants as enormous humans, or a metaphorical one, viewing them as representations of power or wickedness, the discussion is sure to be fascinating. The debate over the nature of the biblical giants encourages us to engage with the text on a deeper level, to question, to explore, and to seek understanding. Literal or symbolic, the giants in the Bible continue to provoke thought and debate. The existence of giants in the Bible has been viewed through various lenses. This mystery has given rise to a multitude of interpretations, each as captivating as the next. The literal interpretation is the most straightforward, suggesting these giants were real, physical beings. Proponents of this view argue that the Bible's references to the Nephilim, Anakim, Rephaim, and Imim are accounts of a race of supersized humans. They propose that these giants were the offspring of divine beings and human women, and their physical prowess was a testament to their supernatural lineage. On the other hand, the figurative interpretation posits that giant is a metaphorical term. Supporters of this perspective believe that these biblical giants symbolize powerful or oppressive figures that the Israelites encountered on their journey. The word Nephilim, translated as fallen ones, could denote their moral downfall rather than their physical stature. Hence, these giants could be monstrous not in size, but in character and actions. Finally, there is the mythological connection. Some scholars suggest that the biblical narratives might have incorporated prevalent ancient myths and legends about giants. These tales of mighty beings are found in many cultures, often symbolizing chaos, disorder, or the primordial forces of nature. The biblical giants, then, could be a cultural echo of these ancient stories, woven into the tapestry of the Israelites' history. Each of these interpretations brings a unique perspective to the biblical narrative. The literal view paints a picture of a world where the supernatural and natural coexisted, where divine beings walked among humans. The figurative interpretation emphasizes the moral struggles and challenges the Israelites faced, and the mythological connection underscores the shared human fascination with the extraordinary, the monstrous, and the unknown. Each perspective adds a unique hue to the intriguing tapestry of biblical giants. Whether they were literal giants, symbolic figures, or echoes of ancient myths, their story continues to captivate us, inviting us to delve deeper into the enigmatic world of the biblical narrative. The Nephilim, the Anakim, the Rephaim, and the Imim, giants or not, they continue to mystify. They've been depicted as everything from literal giants to metaphorical figures of power and oppression, and even as reflections of ancient myths. Their origins are equally puzzling, with some arguing they are the offspring of divine beings and human women, while others suggest they were already present during a time of great wickedness. The book of Enoch offers yet another perspective, portraying them as monstrous giants born from fallen angels. Despite these varied interpretations, one thing remains clear. The mystery of the Nephilim and other biblical giants is a captivating part of the biblical narrative. Their story, whether literal or symbolic, serves as a powerful reminder of the rich and complex tapestry of biblical tales. The story of giants in the Bible, an enigma that continues to captivate, is truly a testament to the enduring power of biblical narratives.